Hello friends, welcome back again. So this is Danny, and so in this video we are going to see a program in Java. So this program is all about exception handling. Okay, so this program concept is using a ATM. So this ATM has three functions called insert code, withdraw, and check balance. Okay, so we are using the exception handling here. So there are two exception handling we are using here. One exception is ATM invalid ATM pin exception, and another exception is no cache exception. Okay, so to do this exception, here for example I have created two exception called invalid ATM exception and no cache exception. So when we're using that exception inside the program, we have to create separate classes for those two exceptions. So here are the two classes, separate classes for exception. So this class is for invalid ATM pin exception, and this class is for no cache exception. Okay, first let's go into this class. So I have created a separate class for accounts. Okay, this account is nothing but to check the ATM pin exception. We have to make clear that the pin for current account have this current balance. So to do that, we are using this class called account. So in this class I have created a constructor, and inside that constructor I have initialized the name, balance, and ATM pin. So this balance and ATM pin will be used to check the balance and check the ATM pin. So there should be a name for the account. So name, balance, ATM pin inside the constructor, and I have created the getter setter functions for name, balance, and ATM pin. Okay, so inside another class I have created a class called ATM, and I have inherited the class account here. So because as you seen before, inside this account class we have the variables for name and name, balance, and ATM name, ATM pin, and balance. So when I'm inheriting that account class inside this ATM class, so I can check the name, balance, and ATM pin here. So the available cash inside the ATM is 1 lakh. Okay, so inside this ATM class, first I have created a constructor called ATM, and inside the constructor I have I have created an argumented constructor. Inside this argumented constructor, I am passing three arguments here: name, balance, and ATM pin. So this is the inheritance, the super class. So the super class is nothing but the account class is the super class. So I am getting this name, balance, and ATM pin from the super class, and the available cash is 1 lakh, and I have directly mentioned it. So after that, let's go for another function. So inside this this function is for inserting a card. So inserting a card means so practically when you insert a card inside the ATM, so there will be two process. One is the checking the card. If the card is correct, it will allow you to the further process. And the second process, so it will check the card, and if the card is mismatched, then it will just eject the card. So this insert card is for that process. So if the pin so that pin is nothing but in another class called so in the main class I have just created an ATM. So this class object I have created in the main class. So as you can see here, I have created so the ATM class object here as OB, and I have created that class that object as an array. So inside that array I hold so this array holds five separate accounts. So this account has 5 different names, and that names balance, and that names ATM pin. So as I have created this object here, it will check. So this function it will check that pin is that inputted pin is equal to the get ATM pin is nothing but that pin I have given already. So it will check with this. If it is not equal, then it will throw the invalid ATM pin exception, or else it will go to the, it will allow you to the further process for so this process have two output functions. So this output will show the ATM pin match successfully, and this will show the balance, and plus get balance is nothing but it will show your balance equal to, and the balance, that concerned balance that that account have. Okay, so the another function is for withdraw. So this withdraw is also similar to that previous function we have seen. So it will ask the amount to withdraw, and if the cash is available, so if the cash is greater than the available cash, it will throw an exception called no cash exception. Okay, or else it will allow to the further process called transaction successful, and collecting cash, and it will deduct the cash that you have taken from the available cash. So available cash is equal to available cash minus cash. This cash is nothing but the cash we have inputted and we have withdrawn. Okay, so the last function is for checking the balance. So checking the balance will also throw the exception called invalid ATM number. So this checking balance function have an if statement. So this if statement is to check the pin. So this if statement is exactly equal to this if statement in the insert call. So it will check the pin. If it is not equal, it will throw the exception called invalid ATM number. If it is equal, it will allow the user to the further process. So inside this main function, as I have said before, I have created an object for ATM class, and I have created an array of objects. Inside that array of objects, I have created 5 objects here, and 5 objects have its own the card holder, the ATM pin, and the balance. Okay, inside so after that I have created a menu driven program. So inside the menu driven program, it consists of check balance and withdraw. So using switch case, I'm doing this. For case 1, it will allow to check balance. So inside the check balance, it will ask for pin number. So if the pin number so inside the for loop, because I have 5 objects here, so I'm using a for loop here until 5. So when I enter the pin number, it will check for the inputted pin with the created 5 pins. So when the pin matches any one of these, it will show the particular details, and it will allow to check the balance in the, from this current pins, from this concern objects. So the another function is for withdraw. So this withdraw is also similar to that. So so here one more thing is I am catching the exception, and I am throwing that exception. So this function is for withdrawing. This withdraw is also same as you have seen before. So inside that I am using the for loop. This for loop is as I told before. This for loop is to check for 5 objects, and inside that I am using 2 if statement. One if statement is the given pin number is equal. So so if b is equal to 0, then it will allow to check the balance, and if the b is not equal to 0, it will allow to withdraw. Okay, now let's run this program. Okay, now it's asking for checking the balance. Okay, I want to check the balance. Okay, so the first thing is okay, so now let me just give the pin number. Okay, yeah, so the ATM pin matched, and the balance is 40,000. So as you can see here, I have I have given the ATM pin for this account. So it is showing the pin is matched, and it is just giving the balance here. Okay, now I'm doing for withdraw. Okay, so let me give the same pin number here. Okay, so the balance is showing, and the amount I want to withdraw. Okay, so the transaction is successful. And now if I check the balance, yeah, sure. So so there's a simple concept I have used here is available cash equal to available cash minus cash. so it have detected the cash that I have entered, and the remaining cash is 20,000. Okay, that's all. Thank you, friends.